What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. As many of you know, last night, Alexander Ovechkin got his 50th goal of the season. Congratulations, AO. But the talk of his season has been his plus minus. And again, I know people try to marginalize plus minus, but minus 34 speaks for itself on a team that has a lot of scoring. And I mean, you look at the guys that are plus on that team. I mean, Mikhail Grabovski is plus 7. Joel Ward's plus 4. I'm just looking at Marty Erat was a plus when he was there. I mean, so it's not, And the other thing was, I think everyone's seen that Vine on going around Twitter, where Derek Stepan scores and AO's just kind of like figure skating. Yeah, I mean that epitomizes Ovechkin's game defensively. I think Crosby's a better defensive player than he gets credit for in terms of the Crosby Ovechkin thing, which hasn't been relevant in 4 years. But I think Sid's a better defensive hockey player than he gets credit for. I think Ovechkin is as bad as his stats say defensively. And then he just doesn't look like he's playing with the same fire he's played with in the past. And as someone who loved him coming up, and just this huge ball of enthusiasm, and it's like it doesn't look like it's there as much. And 50 goals is 50 goals either way. But there's room for improvement. I don't think they're going to fire Oates. This is Oates' first 82-game season with the Capitals. And I mean, remember last year, in the 48-game season, they got off to a really bad start, and he turned them around. They made the playoffs. So, they're more than likely going to miss it this season, but I still think, I want to just give Oates the door. I like the way Oates is a hockey coach. I think he's a great hockey mind. Washington would have to win out, and Philly or Columbus would have to lose out, or something like that. Let me just pull it up for them to make the playoffs. And so Washington would have to win out, and I think Columbus would have to lose out. So not going to happen. But it's tough. It's Washington has some of the most talented players in the league. Obviously, the aforementioned Ovechkin, Backstrom, Greeny when he's healthy is as good as anyone. And bringing in Yaroslav Halak, really helps give him a solid goalie to complement Neuver. But I think there are times for changes. It's funny. The one coach Ovechkin took seriously was Hunter, and that was as far as they've gone. The second round. I think Ovechkin's in the second round 2 or 3 times. But that's another thing to keep an eye on because. Ovechkin's going to be 29. He's not really a kid anymore. The expectations are still there, but they really haven't come close to winning the Stanley Cup. And is it time to completely rebuild this team? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing: Ovechkin's going to have 500 goals before he turns 31. So let that sink in for a second. But again, it's an intriguing situation to keep an eye on. But I think this season was a disappointment for the Capitals, minus 11 in goal differential, but. Maybe they fire Oates. Hunter's not coming back. I think he'd do like an interim thing like he did 2 years ago. But I mean, his heart's in London. He's done a fantastic job going to Knights, and I think that just kind of the circumstances kind of worked out. But I'm curious to see how that situation develops because it's a tough draw. When you have one of the most talented players in the league, and you don't know if his heart's really in it. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Ovechkin's arguably best-worst season ever. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.